Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, jctickets.net, Geico Insurance, Dunaway Furniture, Ocean City Golf Club, RussellStreetReport.com, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Holiday Inn Express, BuyAToyota.com, your official site for Toyota deals. The original Green Turtle, hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Oh, what a crowd.
Merry Christmas.
Packed in here.
Happy holidays to all.
Packed
Welcome back
here.
in. It's the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Speech TV. And now this season also on TV on 47 ABC WMDT and on the radio on 93.5 The Beach, Delmarva's Rock Radio, the strongest signal Ravens affiliate on the peninsula. Coming to you live from the infamous Ravens Room at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City with Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand. They are fired up, let me tell you. Final regular season show here of 2014. If the Ravens are in the playoffs, we will have likely another show, but last show of 2014. Coming up, we are going to be talking about the Ravens' 20-12 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars as we go into week number 16 of the NFL for your 9-5 Baltimore Ravens. We'll talk news and notes, plenty of those. We'll recap the AFC North and preview the upcoming game this Sunday on the road in Houston as the Ravens take on the Texans. Kickoff at 1 o'clock, network pregame at 12:30 on 93.5 The Beach. Don't forget on TV, we air various times on Comcast Beach TV, Thursday through Sunday. We also air at 7:30 Saturday night on WMDT, ABC 47, and Sunday at noon as well. The Ravens Wrap Show brought to you by our friends at the original Green Turtle. Of course, our friends here at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill. Bud Light, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Geico, RussellStreetReport.com, the official website of, well, this very show.
Of Russell Street Report.
That's right. Ocean City Golf Club, our friends at jctickets.net, which we want to thank. We had 5 pairs of tickets we gave away to those who came down to the show this year. We want to thank the folks there for donating those to the show. Our friends at Holiday Inn Express at Northside, right next door to us, is they have the most beautiful view of the Winterfest of Lights over at Northside Park. Donaway Furniture, BuyAToyota.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Ravens Wrap at the Blue Ox, our website, ravenswrap.com. I'm Mike Bradley from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore, locally, mornings 5 to 9 with me, myself and Jake Smith on 92.7 WGMD. To my left, Editor-in-Chief of RussellStreetReport.com, voted Baltimore's best 5 years running, Tony Lombardi. Welcome back, sir. Good to have you.
Good to be back. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone.
Where's your stocking? Or is that hung down at the Turtle?
It was too big to move.
Yeah, I know.
That was a big stocking.
He had stocking envy, so they had to get him a big one.
I mean, I did see a crane down by the Turtle, and I thought it might have been before the stocking, but not the case.
To his left, former Lehigh College player, OC local, and entrepreneur, Mr. John Garrett. Welcome back, sir. And the mayor is in the house, Mayor Rick Meehan. Welcome back, sir.
Good to see you guys.
Representing.
And Donning, the University of Maryland, who's got a bowl game, very impressive against Stanford on December the 30th.
Absolutely. I figured I'd support the Maryland teams.
I like that. Very good. Ravens, Maryland, O's, we're all about that.
I did see Rick in a presiding over a city council meeting in his purple jersey for Super Bowl. I mean, so he has purple.
Absolutely. I've taken it out.
Number 3,
I've taken
Matt
it
Stover.
That's right. The only jersey he'll wear.
My Matt Stover jersey.
There you go. Well, that's fine by us.
But
Absolutely.
it's on the internet somewhere. It's Rick
right.
in purple. He's got it.
Well, guys, let's break down this 20-12 win. Now, I know after a game, you're supposed to be elated. You're supposed to be joyful. It might be the first time as a Ravens fan, frankly, Tony, that I was kind of angry after the game because, look, Jacksonville 2-11, don't care about that. It's a week-to-week league. The Ravens had to win this game. It didn't matter if it was a 2-11 team or an 11-2 team. I felt like John Harbaugh was outcoached. I felt like Jerry Rosburg, other than the punt block, I'll give him credit for that, but I felt like Jerry Rosburg didn't show up to work the week before. He's a special teams coordinator. I was kind of embarrassed at the way the Ravens came out as a team and as a coaching staff against the Jaguars, who frankly outplayed us, but we ended up winning just because we have some more talent.
You know, I thought about the game afterwards, and I was like you, Mike. I was a little ticked off at the performance. It looked like the Jaguars. You said Jaguars.
Did I?
Or
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Anyway, it looked like they wanted it more, and they played tougher. They played harder. They were flying to the football, and it just looked like the Ravens were very passive for a long period of time, and they looked that way the week before in Miami. I started thinking about, 20-12. It wasn't pretty. You don't get grade for style points in the NFL, the W is all that counts. And I thought back to this college buddy of mine. He used to say, she was a 2 at 10, but a 10 at 2.
Never heard that before.
So it was a 10 on Monday, but it was a 2
points, I'll tell you.
on Sunday. But it was a W.
It was. John?
You know, this was, you can almost predict these types of games, though. When you don't have a home game against an inferior opponent, and it's just, I think it's human nature. I mean, you come out a little bit flat. They're pros. They won the game. They did what they needed to do to win the game. But this has happened to the Ravens before. If it's, you know, when the Vikings in the past have come in, you know, into the stadium, the fans aren't really into it as much. The whole vibe just isn't as dynamic as, you know, a division game or something like that. So it's, but the class showed up. I mean, we talked about this before the Miami game. Basically, the playoffs started for the Ravens then, and they're doing what they need to do to get by. And they have a couple other games coming up that they should dominate, but
And
probably
it's not
won't.
like they're not the only team that does this.
Yeah, that's right.
We think they are
Right.
because they're our team. But you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they lost to the Tampa Bay Bucks at home. They lost to the Saints at home. So they've laid eggs too.
Now-
And they're not even birds.
You know, it's the NFL, and it's the NFL, and the Jaguars, they don't have anything to lose. They're out there just playing football. And, you know, I think this time of year, any win is a good win. You know, the teams are banged up a little bit. They're trying to find their way through this. They're trying to get their way to the playoffs. I think any win this time of year is a good win for an NFL team.
I was going to say, Rick, you're probably saying, well, Mike, they're 9-5. They won the game. What are you complaining about? And I get that. I expected more just because, again, the importance of that game. They really need to win out as we took a look at the schedule. So coming out flat again, if their playoff hopes, or excuse me, if their playoffs had already been sewn up or division had been sewn up, I kind of get that. But nothing's been guaranteed going into that game. So I guess that's why I was shocked about that a little bit, Tony.
Yeah,
Especially being at home, too.
I think you like to see them build on the momentum they established through the last 3 quarters in Miami because they looked really good. So you like to see them build that momentum. But I keep going back to 2012. They didn't have any momentum at the end of the regular season. They found it in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat the Giants, and we thought they were going to have momentum. Remember that game?
Yeah.
They played great. And then the last, like, I don't know if it was the Bengals.
It was the Bengals,
yeah.
Yep.
They whipped our butts.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're going into the playoffs that year thinking, man, there goes the momentum, not
Right.
feeling great. You're right, and then you turn it on. Typically, you don't just find your groove in the playoffs. But I mean, anything. I mean, when you've been there before, you can't count on it's not normal. I mean, when you've been there and you know how to turn it on a little bit, then that's where we're talking about class. I mean, I keep bringing that up. It's like a horse race, you know. When the horses know how to run, some horses don't want to let any horse go by. And the Ravens can wake up at any point. You know, it's going to be scary when we're playing teams that can sling the ball all over the place with our secondary, but got to get there, and you never know what'll happen. Maybe it'll be freezing cold, or a hurricane will happen, and Peyton Manning will just get cold a little bit. You know?
Well, Rick, you talked about any win, especially in December, is a good win.
It's a good win.
No question about it. But this is what the NFL wants, though. They want 9-5 and 2-11, even though it's a bit of a stretch that Jacksonville would have a chance in that game. Most people thought they want a game like that. They want the parity. It just, I think, emphasizes how tough it is to win week to week in the league.
It is, and they want us all talking about that, you know, and they really do. But, you know, I think the Ravens are putting themselves in a position. You said they outclassed the other team at the end. They knew how to win the ball game, and that's what they went out to do. And they might have played just good enough to win, but a win in December is a good win.
Tony, as we head on, and we talked about the stretch of games and about the teams that the Ravens have played, that the games that they should win, although I don't know that you can go down the schedule and say this is a win, this is a loss, et cetera, as we just talked about. But taking advantage of the teams that they should beat, we talked about the NFC South undefeated against them, and then Jacksonville. So you could certainly say, well, they beat up on the lesser teams, but still last week emphasizes how tough it is to win. They've taken advantage of the games that they should win, and they have.
You know, you hear the players and the coaches always talk about, well, those guys get paid too.
That's right.
And they do. And they're professional athletes. And I think if the Ravens lined up against the Jaguars 10 times, they might beat them 10 times. And this may have been the worst game of the 10. But it works out that way sometimes. And you can only play your schedule. You don't play in the rearview mirror. You move ahead and look forward to the Texans in this case. And you got to win the next game. So it's over with. It's done. They got the W. And if they had won 45 to 12 or 20 to 12, will we really feel any better? would it really matter that much more?
I mean, ask the Chiefs fans about their loss to the Raiders. I mean, you can lose any time at any point.
right.
I mean, you had Latavius Murray. Nobody knows who this guy is. He's a third-string running back to start the season, and he looks like the best running back in football against a pretty good Chief defense. So anybody, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. These guys are still the best athletes in the world playing out there, so they can show up at any given time. And if we just play down and someone else plays up, you can get beat.
Better to win ugly than lose pretty, I guess.
Absolutely. It's better to win the ball game, get it in the win column, and take your licks. Get back to practice, realize what you did that week, and move forward. That's what they're going to do.
But when you look at the schedule, we all do. We get the schedule, we go down, and we say win, loss, win. We're right where record-wise.
Yeah,
we're right where everyone thought we would be. Really,
And that's with all the obstacles that they've had to overcome. You could almost say, well, they're overachieving. If we knew that we had these many obstacles to overcome, I'm not sure that we would have said we'd be 9-5 at this point. But yet we're here, and again, that is a tribute to the coaching staff.
And they signed Chris Greenwood, so everything's good.
Yeah, we're feeling good.
Off the Vikings practice squad.
And even though Haloti Ngata's out for a few more games, ATMs are still free at Royal Farms too. So
They
let's
are.
not forget about that. So.
But they wanted us to take his picture off the chicken sign, so we did.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, that's a whole different story. We'll talk about that coming up because certainly one of the better performances of the season out of a certain defensive lineman we'll talk about coming up. Very impressive. And guys, I think depth, we talked last week and a lot of weeks this season about depth being a big thing with the team. That's been the theme, John, this year. We got about 45 seconds. The depth of this team has risen up this year.
That's what these guys do. When you're presented with an opportunity, these guys are desperate, and desperation is powerful. So when you have an opportunity to play and you have nothing to lose and to show what you've got for your career, I mean, there's nothing to lose there, and you can really make a mark for yourself and for your team.
And it's about the next man up. I mean, every team has to think about who's the next man up because you're all going to have those injuries. You're all going to face those circumstances. And the deeper team and the team that's prepared to have the next man step up, that's the team that moves on.
More of the Ravens Wrap Show next. Keep it here.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Like 33rd Street was to Colt fans, Russell Street will become legendary for future generations of Raven fans. Not only is Russell Street the team's address on Sunday, it's now home to the website voted Baltimore's best 5 years in a row. You've known them as Ravens247.com for years, and now you'll love them as RussellStreetReport.com for many more. There's nothing else like it for Baltimore football fans. Trust me, RussellStreetReport.com. Baltimore's home for football 24/7.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.